This A relationship is training them to seed sow, training them to
Church
field
plant.
3 and 4 to gather, training
Church
them
plant
how
multiplier.
to reproduce leaders, right? And ultimately, what we're talking about is this idea, this level 4 role. They're dropping in and helping this pre-existing believer or organization, church, multiply. And it's the apostolic track, right? Filtering for the sent ones. And so what's the result? Lord willing, out of that local partner or local church, we start to see reproduction, the church planting. According to God's timing, right? As those healthy churches get healthy, they start to reproduce. So it's a 4 fields orientation in A, right? Now when we get to this point with the Gen charts, we see that we've got emerging leaders all over the Gen chart, right? But the problem is, in a lot of cases, there's character development involved and skill sets. But what we decided and we recognized, because this is the apostolic track, we needed to circle back and double down on pastoral development. We wanted a foundation of pastors for every church planting network. So from somewhere in this relationship, the need to come back and invest pastoral training for every level 2 leader, for everyone leading a church downstream. Now the challenge was we didn't have the man hours.
Right.
And for this person to do that work meant to let go of the edge, to let go of the apostolic track. So what we found was something different. We could go back to our stateside partners, in our case to the U.S., in our case SBC churches back in the U.S., and introduce them to this local partner for the sake of balance. So we've got our breadth. Now where are we going to find the depth in a movement? This B relationship was about balance, acceleration, now balance. And what did they focus on? Pastoral training and development. So it's New Testament, Old Testament survey, over and over, a lot of practice in hermeneutics. And we do that in groups. We've held off on introducing the B relationship until we had identified leaders to put in front of them.
Right.
But a lot of times the man hours are coming from outside for balance, for pastoral training. So the truth is, all the elements of reproduction, the simplicity, the reproducibility, the focus on the edge, the vision for all that's involved in keeping a fire hot.
Right.
We wanted to make sure that
it doesn't get lost.
So whenever we introduced the B relationship, it by default created a relationship here that we called C for the sake of clarity.
Right.
So we're helping them understand what is it that they're in the cross-cultural communication that they're trying to communicate. What is it that in the multiplication, what's the DNA that needs to be guarded and protected a little bit? Why don't we introduce funds and money this way? Why don't we practice these various practices have a reason for everything we do? So this clarity piece was about communication, bringing this SBC church or partner up to speed on the cross-cultural side of missions, right?
Right. So now you go to a new, here, change pins.
Okay.
Because now you're going to go, it extends.
That's right.
And then you did this dashed line, and I need to understand that.
So if you will, this is a level 4 network. The master trainer is shifting here, right? But the master trainer is also concerned about balance in the networks that are multiplying. So what about the transition as the local partner moves from an MT to an SC? Because this master trainer that we've introduced the triangle with, we also want to see him progress and work through him to get these roles into his network. So he's going to take on the A role. This is the apostolic or acceleration role, right? And the SBC church, by the way, is going to work through him. You see the nice arrow? Toward a B role inside, we actually call, so this A role is called the SC, local SC. This we call a movement strengthening strategist.
Yes.
This is the champion for pastoral training
Strategist.
within the network, a local who, having gone through the pastoral track 2-3 times repeatedly, actually is able to do all that this church was providing as far as content, New Testament, Old Testament survey, understanding of mission, understanding of what it takes to reproduce, keeping it simple, but getting pastoral training out, spread out into the network.
Can I ask a question?
And in order for the IMB coach to be replaced, the MT becomes the SC. So we're working through the local partner,
accelerating a new
to get to other level 4 leaders inside their network. And then you see the need for these two to relate well, because if you will, one is stewarding breadth and one is stewarding depth. That makes sense?
Yes. So this person, does this represent one person, multiple people? And if it represents one person, does it come out of here, or could it be a couple of guys? Or
so as the stateside, the balanced relationship is introduced after a network of churches is in place, they're looking inside here for that pastor-teacher voice, champion even, who sees the vision, and this relationship or this role comes out of the harvest. Same with the emerging MT. The coach on acceleration or the apostolic track is ultimately working through the network, through the local partner, as he pulls people along with him in the progression of the levels of leadership. These guys would have come through the harvest. So then this becomes a level 5, or if you will, the local strategy coordinator's local team, right? In a sense, it's a CPM team.
Right.
It has a visionary who sees the whole task, thinking about Galatia, Macedonia, Asia, Achaia. It has master trainers inside, Timothy, Titus's that can move around. But ultimately, it's not just Timothy, Titus. There's also that balance piece whereby there's a champion for depth, a champion for pastoral development out into the strength. And if we can get to that, we can release. In our heart, that's where sustainability and CPM is.
Yes.
When the local SC,
because they have support,
with his local Timothys, who are stewarding about breadth and depth, we've got a sustainable movement.
Now,
what do you think of that? Upside down is the only problem.
That's right.